For Paulo Fonseca to be gutsy enough to drop both Rafael Leão and Theo Hernandez for 3 seasons at this point in time, they have been the focal point of creating any attack for Milan. Most of our goals have come from that left flank. And it's because of the tandem of Leao and Theo on that side. For Fonseca, 2 games into the season as a new coach, drop 2 of Milan's biggest stars. One considered a captain, a future captain once Calabria's out, and the other considered one of the best left wingers in the world, with a rapidly dropping stock if he continues to perform a certain way. But still, for Fonseca to take this chance is not what I expected. Now, as you guys can tell, I'm not in the studio. I'm at my friend's place. I told you guys in the last video I'm going to be in the US for this match, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I still wanted to make sure that I'm going to be, at least going live. This setup took a while. But right now I'm going to do some checks to see if you guys are, involved in the comment section. I might have to ask you guys to be a little bit patient because this is a setup that I'm, pulling off in someone else's house. So let's get the chat out. Let's get your comments in there. Just give me a second. The one thing that I like about this setup, to be honest, guys, is I can move. It's a standing desk. I don't really have a standing desk in the studio. I barely even have a desk. But here I can kind of move around. So if Milan, or when Milan does score, it should be a lot of fun to be able to celebrate it. Okay, where are your chats? I see your chats. I'll copy this. I'll put it here. And we'll start talking to you guys. That's the wrong link. Wait, they're showing the Napoli game here. What's going on? Hold the phone. Hold on, guys. I really hope I don't have to run to my friend to ask him to make this work. As usual, whenever you're doing something new like this, there's gonna be technical errors, but sometimes the technical errors are so severe that inside you're panicking, outside you're trying to just be chill. So just give me a second here. Okay, now let's look for this game. I mean, I can watch the Napoli game if you guys want me to review that one instead. Hold on. Are they actually not showing the Milan game? I went live for this and there's no AC Milan game here in the US? Oh no, I panicked early. I got it. We're good. All right. Let's see this. So this is the first time that I'm actually going to be watching the game on CBS Paramount because we don't have that in Canada. We watch it on Fubo Sports. But today the live stream is going to be using CBS. I was watching the IFTV guys. I forgot his name. I am using Paramount now. But it was nice to see their pre-work done. Okay, so use Paramount. Yes, ISO Goblin. I'm already on it. I'm nervous. Yes, I'm big time nervous. I mean, so now that the setup is complete, I got my initial, panic stage out. Let's just chat about this. I think it's a crazy move by Fonseca. Straight up. A new coach is brought to a team to improve and elevate players. There was a saying that someone said that a coach cannot necessarily give you confidence, but the coach can take your confidence away. Confidence usually comes from within. So they can't add to it as much, but they can take it away from you. I don't think Theo and Leao's confidence is going to be impacted. I just think they're going to be annoyed, especially Theo. What we know about Theo, for having watched him for seasons now, is that he always starts slow. Is that a good thing? No, it's not a good thing, but it is his thing. He starts off slow almost every season. 5-7 games in, he's a whole other player. So for this coach to see the fact that this guy made a deep run in the Euros, wasn't fully back to fitness. Now, is he dropping him because he feels like, okay, Terracciano is fitter, so I'll start Theo? Because he can't possibly think obviously he doesn't think he's a better player. Or is he trying to teach him a lesson and say, hey, your effort in the first 2 games hasn't been enough, so we're going to drop you? Is it that you're not fit enough, so I'm going to drop you? Or is it that your effort wasn't good enough, so I'm going to drop you? because those are two very different things. Because Terracciano instead of Theo is an insane decision. Half the people were asking for this player to be removed. Now, as you know, some people are saying, Kyle here says it's a bold move, but I love when bold moves pay off. Can't wait to see what happens. Imagine if they win it, it'll almost be humorous. No, Kyle, I agree with you partly. It won't be humorous to me. And here's why it won't be humorous. It's not like we got a player from Napoli to play for us today, right? Terracciano is a Milan player. Pulisic playing as a left wing is a Milan player. That's the point of a team. When your team isn't, when certain pieces in your team aren't performing well, the other guys, if they can pick it up and get you the 3 points, that's great. I don't want it to be seen as a slap in the face to any player, because we can't slap 2 players who've carried us for almost 4 years now and say, oh, 2 bad performances or weak performances over a certain period of time. You've been dropped. Now we win. Haha, look at you. I think it's more of, hey, you guys haven't been able to be at your best form, so we're going to use somebody else for now. But when the time is right, you're going to be brought back in. I think what would be humorous, actually, and maybe I'm kind of countering my own point here made by Kyle, is it would be humorous if Leao and Theo come on and they're the ones who make Milan win the game. If we're down or if it's tied and they're the ones who are the goal scorers, or they're the ones who create that opportunity for Milan that gets us on the score sheet, that might be humorous in the direction of Paulo Fonseca, even though, as I just said, it shouldn't be. If the rest of the team can carry the weight and Theo and Leao come in and get the goal and get the points for Milan, it still should be, it's a team sport at the end of the day. Anthony says, Ciao Kush. Anthony, I haven't seen you in the comments for a while, my friend. Ciao Kush, this ballsy move by Fonseca will either galvanize the team or will lead to Fonseca being sacked. Well, let's hope not. Match is kicked off now. I hope the graphics, the graphic down here should upgrade on its own, but I kind of tie it to another website. So I got to pick up my live stream. You guys have been asking me to do live streams, so I'm definitely going to be doing them more since there's so many of you guys watching all the videos now. I have to work a little bit more on the live stream, so I appreciate you guys joining in today. Bold move for Fonseca. Another, bold move is a common word today from Liam. For Fonseca, for sure, but I'm disappointed by the work rate of both Leao and Theo. If the team comes out and plays well, then maybe it will be a fire under their butts. Yeah, that is I think that is probably what Fonseca is trying to do. There was a strange expectation, I guess, a little bit that maybe if Fonseca comes in because he's Portuguese. By the way, let me know if the audio issues or anything are there, because sometimes you guys let me know. Please make sure to put it in the comments. Some of us thought that, hey, Fonseca's a Portuguese guy. He's going to take care of a Portuguese player in Leao. Maybe he's going to be able to get a different side out of him because of some similarities in their upbringing or whatnot. But my goodness, to drop Rafael Leão and Theo Hernandez 2 games into the season, right before an international break. Not even like, hey, you know what? You guys play it out, but for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be talking and we're going to be working on what you guys are doing wrong. No, before the international break, big change. Bold is true. I just hope it's not a dumb move. We got another opposite side of it. T-Rex says, what the hell is this lineup? I got to be honest, man. I'm kind of more with T-Rex than the bold move. Because in my opinion, oh my God, Milan's defense is still getting cleaned up completely. Pavlovic off the line. Well, that took them about 2 minutes for the defense to once again collapse. I didn't actually watch how this unfolded, but let me see how this unfolded. What happened here? From the right side, who was that? That was Chukwueze. Oh no, Emerson Royal. And just the way that they play, man. Just the way that they move. Just, once again, the midfield was pretty much bypassed from over the top. It came from Emerson Royal's side. I didn't actually watch it unfold quite clearly to be able to say who do I blame for that. But my goodness, this team looks so weak when they're attacking, when they're defending. And now, today, they're going to look at weak when they're attacking too. Because without Leao and without Theo, the opposition's going to say, I can handle Terracciano. The opposition's going to say, Pulisic is not going to bring the same thing that Leao brings. It's not the same threat. The thing is, Leao can be off, Leao can be off form, but he's still a threat. He can still pull something out of nothing. And unfortunately, you can blame the recruitment policy or whatever you want. Unfortunately, he's the only player who can actually pull something out of the hat for you. I think Chukwueze maybe has a similar characteristic too, but he's, not even remotely been effective as Leao has been. Pulisic, I don't think is the same kind of a player. I think he's an industrious player and he can bring a lot for the team, but he's not one of those individual brilliance sort of players. It comes here and there for him, but Leao and Theo can just single-handedly do things. And when they don't do things, they become ineffective. I hope the whole discussion isn't going to be about just those two guys, but we'll keep jumping into this. Okay, let's fix this up for you guys. Here we go. And this is this. So I do plan on going to New York in a couple of, tomorrow actually. So if anybody's there, say hi. Maybe I'll wear the Milan jersey walking down the street. Mike goes to Theo. Mike goes to Fikayo. To Pavlovic. I mean, the other question mark, massive question mark, is also around Emerson Royal. I mean, it is not just a question mark; it's a very confusing question mark around Emerson Royal. Because even right now, the attack that early on came from their side was kind of cooked up from the right flank of Milan, as usual, that weak flank. You can't blame Fonseca for one thing for sure. He's making his calls. He's here changing things up, right? He's come on. He's put Emerson Royal in. He's taken Calabria off. He's not afraid to make some moves, but dropping Leao and Theo tells you that he's really not afraid to do what he thinks he needs to do. Anyone else have issues with no sound? Let me know in the comment section, please. Sound on my end looks pretty good. The midfielder is static, as Kyle says. Not sure what the game plan is. I'll be honest, though, Kyle, this has been a problem for Milan for a long time. It's not even a recent thing. The way that the midfield sort of moves around is always been very static. Their off the ball movement is frustratingly stagnant at times. Pavlovic with a poor pass. Probably Terracciano is standing around on the field thinking right now, how am I here? What am I doing here? Brian hears everything. That's good. Selling Theo for 60 million euros next season will be a good move. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But you definitely need a good season from Theo. And if he's going to be a bit of a problem child where he's not going to renew and he's going to, we're going to be hearing links of Bayern and all that constantly. Wow, Okafor with a lovely move. Gets past a couple of players. Pulisic from the left flank, Pulisic wins a corner kick. Nice work. I'm pretty stressed out, so don't ask me what's in my cup. Is it just me, or does this team look insanely lost? No, it is. Team is very lost. They don't have a system of playing. Sometimes I remember there was this singer who said that he used to sing in a certain manner, and I'm waiting for Pulisic to take this corner kick. He used to sing in a certain manner. He wasn't getting a lot of success. So Pulisic with the corner kick. That was actually a good one. Goal! Pavlovic! Strahina. Pulisic with an assist. 8 minutes in. Is anyone missing Leao or Theo? Yes, we are. But this is the start we needed. And this is the goal that we needed. Lovely work from Christian Pulisic. He's the one who won that corner kick first. He's the one who attacked on the left flank. Made an early decision to actually try and cross the ball in. I think he saw Chukwueze on the right flank stepping in. He made an early call to actually make that cross in. And that is what got us the corner kick. He whipped in a great corner kick. He confused but I think Lazio's defense just oh my goodness. Pavlovic, the tallest man on this Milan team, completely left unmarked. Completely left unmarked. This is a goal for Milan for sure, but this is a massive critique for Lazio's defense. I mean, what are you guys doing leaving him completely unmarked? I don't know if they went with the zonal marking or man-to-man, but it clearly broke down. They went with the zonal stuff, but it broke down. And you got to stay. Someone has to stay on Pavlovic. That's the tallest player on Milan's team. Oh. And someone says a goalkeeper horror show too. I mean, he committed. He committed for sure. Gecko, my friend. Always nice to see you in the comments. What a beast. Straina is that guy. And he is that guy. You know, you could see it in the last match. I was reading online some people talking about how Straina didn't have the best performance. To me, I saw like, oh my goodness, Milan almost conceded very quick to Tati Castellanos. I saw Castellanos, by the way, when I was in Rome. So, so he did hit the corner. Okay, so they did get the corner kick. So that means, looks like Tomori actually kind of got in the way of that. Well, if Milan plays better with this system in the absence of Theo and Leao, it's going to wake them up. If Milan can get a solid win today, let's just see what happens. But if they can get a solid win today, it's going to wake up Leao and Theo that, hey, this team can play without us. So with us, they can do a lot better. Zaccagni with the corner kick. Stays on it. Gets ready. Milan has to stay compact. They did a good job there. Chukwueze with the robbery. Chukwueze clears it off. Goes to Okafor. Noah. Yeah, Noah. You can't do what Leao can do, buddy. Look at the Lazio midfield when the ball is in our half. When the ball is in our half, they're pressing and dominating that middle third. It's Pavlovic again, solid in the back. It's already resulted in stray long balls due to lack of passing options. Oh, looks like Chukwueze is on the ball again. Goes out for the attack. Loses the ball. Okay, I need a pen and a paper because I need to make some notes. Oh my God, completely unmarked. Who's marking him? Terracciano's supposed to be marking him. Wow. I mean, Terracciano has to do a better job, but this is... Sorry. Mike goes to Ficaio. Terracciano is sleeping. Game is opening up. Might work out for us. Fullbacks need to... Oh my God. But Lazio's attack is so much more... It seems to have so much more potential than Milan's does. Milan, it's almost like, you know, they believe that they can break down this Milan side defensively. Chukwueze stays on the ball. Chukwueze with a bit of confidence. Loftus-Cheek has to be effective today. He's probably been the worst player. I mean, it's fine that the players that Fonseca chose to drop today, but you have to say that Loftus-Cheek has been the worst player on this Milan team for the first two games. You know, at least Leao got an assist. Theo has been a definite liability, but I feel like Ruben Loftus-Cheek has done nothing in attack or in defense. Coach, do you think we can beat Madrid and Liverpool? Liverpool are on fire right now, but Madrid are faltering. You know, I was giving the analogy of the singer before. There was a singer who talked about how, you know, he wasn't getting a lot of success in his career. And so what he chose to do was, you know, he sort of went into hiding almost and sort of isolated himself, not went into hiding, isolated himself and completely broke down his voice. That's how he talked about it. He said, I broke down my voice and I rebuilt it the way that I started. And he's become one of the more popular singers that we know. Chukwueze from outside the box. Sorry, it's Pulisic. Pulisic gets away from him. And I think that's sort of what Fonseca has to do, as somebody asked earlier, is he's completely, it seems like he's trying to break down the way that this team tries to play by dropping Theo and Leao. Because so much of this team's progression goes through those two guys that he has made a choice that today they're going to play in a completely different manner when they're attacking and a completely different manner when they're defending. And I think that is what he's trying to do. And then you can insert Theo and Leao back into the system when they understand how they're supposed to play. Like, look at how fluid Okafor has been. Sometimes he's playing up front. Sometimes he's playing as a left winger. And Pulisic is dropping in as a almost like a false nine. At least in that movement it was. And Milan wins a corner kick. I think it makes Milan less predictable. Right? When you have Theo and Leao playing, it's very easy to be able to kind of guess what they're going to be doing. And with the system that Fonseca seems to be trying to create, they're much more unpredictable. You know, Pulisic was playing as a left winger, and then right now in this latest play, Okafor was already waiting out on the wing. He was not even close to the post. And Pulisic was actually playing dropping in as a central attacking midfielder or a false nine. So it kind of does throw off the back line for Lazio. Milan on another corner kick, they're going to have to do a better job on this one. Pulisic with a similar delivery, actually. Very similar delivery. Looks like it might have gone for another corner kick for Milan, yes. Pavlovic is a shining star on this team right now. Yes, 2 matches in, he's definitely done the job that we needed him to do. First match, solid defensively. Second match, we know he can do this. He can score from those corner kicks. Comes in and scores. Especially when you really need it. Right, with the drastic change made by the coach today, you can't open up with the other team scoring on you because your confidence is gonna go, through the floor. Chukwueze with another corner kick. Fofana, oh my goodness, that would have been something. What is Mike doing? Great to see Chukwueze playing defense. Hopefully he matures and learns how to make well-timed runs off the ball too. I mean, I think that's where obviously Chukwueze and Pulisic are going to be helping out defensively. And that's where the comment that we already addressed a little bit of Antonio Cassano in the last video about Rafael Leão, it comes into play. Where and the part that I talked about that I agreed with Cassano on, mostly it's difficult to agree with Cassano. Oh my goodness, that's bad. That almost fell to Okafor. Would have been a 2-on-2 for Milan. I'm trying to see, how Loftus-Cheek is now playing. They are playing a more like a 4-2-3-1. And you can see that Loftus-Cheek is playing much more advanced, almost playing as a second striker at certain points. I'm just trying to compare the way that Milan plays in the presence of our two stars on the left flank. They're actually playing fairly similar to them. It's just the players are changed. Okafor drops this to Pulisic. Pulisic with the run. Nice. Christian, come on, baby. Let's go, Christian. Christian gets in. Good cross into Chukwueze. Chukwueze, come on, man. You had so much time to control that. That's a lovely run from Pulisic. Fantastic run. Very quick pass. Quick cross out to the right flank to Chuk. Chukwueze just had to control that. I don't know why he went for the first time touch. Take one, like trying to kill off the ball and put it into the far corner. Another corner kick from Milan. Pulisic once again stepping up. Christian goes farther to Okafor. This might fall to Fofana, and it does. This gives us a good idea to see how his strength is. It looked like it was easier to handle, but I think that's 3 obvious errors already from Mike. You're talking about Mainio. Do you think, I think Jetson was trying to say, do you think we can get rid of Benacer Jovic before September 2nd so we can sign Rabiot? If their market is open, I think outgoing movements are allowed. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100%. But if outgoing moves are allowed and the Saudi Pro League's market is open till day after tomorrow, and Rabiot can be signed as a free agent, then I guess, yeah, it's still game on. Pulisic passes out to Okafor. Okafor with some lovely overlap runs around Pulisic. Very interesting. Rarely ever see Okafor play that way when he's playing as a center forward all the way up front, and Leao is playing on the left flank. You rarely ever see Okafor drop into the left flank and make an overlapping run. I think what Fonseca has done a little bit is Terracciano's not going to have the same attacking responsibility as Theo Hernandez would have. So Terracciano's staying back significantly more, and Okafor is actually more of a fluid player who's moving around. When Pulisic is making those runs, you can see that Noah is actually making the overlapping run that you would usually expect Leao to be running and then Theo to be making the overlap run. But Terracciano's staying back because Milan has very obvious defensive issues. I don't even see him in the frame. So Fofana is actually dropping in a little bit more. Right when I said it, Terracciano actually went pretty advanced. But that's what I've noticed a couple times now, is that Okafor is making those overlapping runs instead of, Terracciano's now making a run. As a center forward almost. What is happening here? Pulisic is having awesome corner kicks. Gotta agree. Football John says, Ciao Milanisti. Wow, Leao. The camera's on Leao right now. He's not looking happy. This is a bit of a diss on him. And the cameraman knows too what he's doing, right? He focuses the camera on Leao, and then right away the next shot is of Paulo Fonseca. Just trying to drum up a little bit of that. But really, I'll be honest, Fonseca better be, Football John, ciao Milanisti, ciao my friend. One thing has to be said, that Fonseca has to be a master communicator. He better be effective in being, because there's no way Leao and Theo are happy about this. Unless there's communication with Theo about his fitness, just wait it out. Let's just play you after the international break because you're not fully, at your best right now. That's a different thing. But if he hasn't had that, it's like, hey, I'm dropping you guys because you haven't been playing well enough. That would be, he better be a master communicator to be able to bring him back into the fold too when he's ready to actually start them or bring them on as a substitute. I hope the players have an open mind enough to self-evaluate their own performances and make a call accordingly. But Fonseca has a job on his hand. This is not a decision that he made for today. This is a decision that he's made for a long time now, because you have the international break for 2 weeks. Now it's gonna fester too for these guys that, hey, he dropped us in the last match. So it's not even like they're gonna play in 3 days again. It's gonna be, nothing's gonna happen for 2 weeks. So at some point in time, Fonseca is gonna have to bring these guys back in and say, hey, I still believe in you. You just weren't playing well enough, so I had to drop you. And that's the logic that should apply to everybody. If I don't coach well, I'm gonna get fired too. So why should it be any different for you guys? So I guess I can kind of see the boldness in that, but I don't know enough about Fonseca to say, to be able to say if it was a good call or not, because it's gonna be massive to bring them back into the fold. Maybe it's just me, or does Milan slow down drastically in the second half? Do they? I feel like they become static, as somebody already said. They're very stagnant as a team. So when you say slow down, I think they just don't move enough, period. I don't know if that's necessarily lethargy or if it's lack of a clear idea of how to play, because, look at that, Pulisic helping out in defense. That's exactly what you need from your left winger. Yunus Musa, actually, not someone. Yunus Musa came out in in a post-match, chat, and he said that, I didn't actually know if I was supposed to be defending or attacking. We weren't sure of that. And I know if you guys watch that Milan podcast with Martino and Matt, they talked about it already addressed that quite a bit. And I agree with them. You can't be saying that on camera. Even if that's the truth and that's the reality, you just don't admit it. You don't admit it for the respect of your team, your coach, your organization, and to not have other teams look at you and sort of laugh out loud. But he did say that. So when you ask, do they drastically slow down in the second half, as Bad YouTuber said here, I think they have a clear lack of vision in the second half. And they've had the opposition in the first 2 games kind of take on and take a lead on them. So they've tried to liven up in the second half through sheer individual brilliance. But it'll be interesting to see today how they do, considering that they've taken an early lead themselves, settled their nerves in the absence of their big players. How are they going to perform now? Things are changing at Milan. That has to be said. Benacer is on the chopping block. Leao and Theo are on the bench. We didn't expect this, to be honest. I did not expect this when I predicted that Milan might win the title this season. Man, I stopped watching every second half this season to avoid a nervous breakdown, as Gecko says. Yeah, it's definitely been nervy, my friend. Sergio, hello, Kush. Sergio, how are you? Sergio's very, very old, long time viewer of the channel, so it's always nice to see him in the comments. They're starting to settle in. They're looking a lot better than the first 10 minutes. Yeah, they are, but honestly, I think Lazio is also looking a lot weaker than I expected, at least. And I think it's kind of flipped. Lazio started really well, and they look like the more dominant side, but I think 25 minutes in, Milan up 1-0, I don't think they've been able to have that type of intensity and that type of penetration through Milan's midfield and backline as they did in the first 10 minutes. In the second, I guess, 14 minutes. I don't agree Terracciano keeps going up. That's what I'm noticing. As I said, while I was making my commentary, I started to notice that Terracciano is actually moving a lot more progressively. I hope there's no cooling break today, to be honest. Castellanos. Tati. Oof, my goodness. Pavlovic with an interesting clearance. Looked like he may have slipped there. So any of you guys from Philly, by the way? Because that's where we are right now. Buongiorno in America, exactly. We are in America. Brian says, the board needs to get sacked. They didn't offload Tau, Calabria, Benacer, Musa, Jovic, and loaned out Romero. Tammy and Emerson are bad buys, and Fonseca's last trophy was 2016. Sack. Let's watch this Lazio corner kick. Cleared out comfortably by Loftus-Cheek. I mean, this is a loaded conversation, Brian, my friend. I think we've talked about it quite a bit. I'll go one at a time. Didn't offload Tau. I don't know if there was anything real about Tau in Newcastle. And if they was and they were getting 40 million, they said, no, they're stupid. They should have definitely sold him for 40 million. You don't keep Tau because he's not worth 40 million. Calabria says, well, Calabria didn't say anything. Calabria's on the bench. As you said, they didn't offload Calabria. I think they tried to, but you can't. He's still under contract. You still have an obligation with the player. And if he's not going to want to leave, you can't really do anything about it, right? So Tau, I don't know how many offers they got. Calabria, I think, just didn't want to leave. And let's be real, Calabria only has 1 year left on his contract anyways with Milan. So he's probably out next summer if a renewal is not agreed to. Benacer is a little bit more confusing because Milan wants a good value for him. At least they know that Saudi Arabia connection exists. Everyone knows Benacer has wanted to move to Saudi Arabia at some point in time. His agent has said exactly that in those words. So I think Milan knows what you can get out of Saudi Arabia, and he has a decent contract. I think Benacer has another year left after this, so they feel like they can still sell him next summer too. And they want good value for him. And honestly, well, there's Musa. Musa, I don't actually agree with. I don't think Milan has any reason to sell Musa right now. We haven't even seen there. As I said, there is a cooling break. So I would say for Musa, we haven't seen enough. The part that frustrates me is that Milan has signed midfielders of similar ilk. They're very similar personality types. Loftus-Cheek, Musa, Reinders, Benacer, even Fofana to some degree. Who else did they sign in the midfield? There were considerations of Manu Kone. They would have had 6 midfielders with very similar personalities. And as people have talked about it, if you have that many midfielders with similar personalities, you're not really setting yourself up for a 4-2-3-1. For a 4-2-3-1, you need a true out-and-out defensive midfielder, not like a number 8 with some defensive qualities, because that's what all those guys were. So, when you talk about Musa, I don't think he needed to go anywhere, but I do find it a little bit annoying that they've signed so many players that have similar personalities as Musa. Jovic, yeah, that's a weird one. I'm with you on that one. I don't understand why he was even given a contract renewal. I think they just wanted to lock something down in case they weren't able to sign strikers. But yeah, that's a weird one. Loaned out Romero, I'm not as upset about because you can only have so much of a squad. And, Romero was okay. Even in La Liga, he was okay in the beginning at least. And then he kind of wasn't as good. Tammy and Emerson are bad buys. I actually don't agree on either of them right now. Tammy is a toss-up. We just have to wait to see what happens with him. If he can at all replicate the form that he had in his first season in Serie A, Milan has made an excellent decision. But if injury is still going to sort of slow him down, then yeah, it's a bad call by Milan. And Emerson Royal, I think I might agree with you on that one. So I kind of agree with you on the Jovic and Emerson. Okay, we got a bunch of comments here. Happy to have found this channel. I appreciate Komodo Usabasi. Zidi Waka Waka says, glad I was able to catch the live watch along. Zidi Waka Waka, I'm glad I was able to catch you in the comments and say that name out loud. Yeah, dude, this channel's top notch. Gecko, I always appreciate it, man. You're like my biggest hype man. I thought Terracciano was a midfielder, not a left back. Well, he kind of plays on that side, but he can play in the midfield too. From Dallas, Texas, and South Carolina now. Rangers King 669. As a Milan fan, this is the channel. Pulisic. Christian passes to Noah Okafor. Okafor creates some space. Okafor with a strike. Needed a little more zip and a little less height on that. As a Milan fan, this is the channel I've been needing. Just found it a few months ago, and it's awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Waka Waka, again. Forza Milan from Kansas. So happy to see so many international fans. Yes, international people, are the best, if that makes sense. I'm in Europe, Malta. Maybe I'd like to go there. Anyone else from UK? Asks Mark. Let him know. Cooling break. I love this idea of dropping Theo and Leao. Finally, someone that can take away their playing time when they want to act like princesses. The team is playing way better without them, more like a team. I'll be honest, I wouldn't say way better, but they're definitely looking good. I think they also look very good with them. I think when they come on in the second half, which I'm very confident both of them will, I think we'll be able to see their quality again. And maybe they'll put in a different type of effort because their egos have been punctured a little bit. I get a little bit uncomfortable being, that aggressive about two guys who have honestly done so much for this team. They've both played over 150 games for this side. They've both scored goals, assisted goals, been solid in defense at times. Well, I'm talking about Theo there. They have been excellent servants to this Milan team. So I feel iffy about just knocking them off and saying, yeah, good thing they got dropped. I don't think it's a good thing that they were dropped. I think it's better. I think Milan is a better team if Fonseca can make Theo and Leao do what he wants them to do instead of saying, you know what, you guys are out, I'm just going to use other guys. I think Milan's a better team with Theo and Leao on the pitch than they're off the pitch. And maybe let me rephrase what I said. Milan plays as a better team. Till now, they've played as a team better in their absence, but as a 11-man on the sheet, AC Milan's a better side with those two players on. You just need them to do what you need them to do. You need to bring that out of them. So, but yeah, a little bit of that princess stuff I do agree with. I don't like some of the, as Young Wolf said here, I don't like some of the behavior. I don't like it. You're not as good as some of your behavior is. And I would say that a little bit more for Leao, maybe. A little bit more than I would say for Theo, because Theo is very good. But for Leao, I would say that, bro, you got to be able to finish your chances way better. You have to be able to hit the goal when you're in a one-on-one situation with Milinkovic-Savic in the first game of the season at the San Siro against Torino. You've got to be better. And your attitude is, a little bit above your delivery. So let's bring that a little bit more in sync. And that's probably what this dropping by Fonseca would do. Bring that attitude a little bit more in sync. If you want a player, I can't see this. If you want a player to leave, you just focus. You force him out by threatening. Okay, sorry, your comment got lost. There's a lot here. By threatening not register him and let him train alone. Many clubs do it. If they could have easily offloaded them guys if they wanted. Okay, let me read this again. If you want a player to leave, you just force him out by threatening not to register him and let him train alone. Many clubs do it. They could have easily offloaded them guys if they wanted. Yeah, but you don't want to become that club. That is not a good club that does that. And you're not a good player if you do the same thing, where you force your way out of a club by saying, I'm just going to sit on the bench, I'm not going to play. I don't think that's a good organization, and it sets a benchmark for other players. I think one of the reasons Fofana wanted to come here is because of the good things that he probably heard from Maignan and from Theo. And if you start doing that to your players will tell you, their teammates, their friends, their national friends, hey, don't go to that club. They don't treat you very well. So I don't think that's how you do and go about it. But sure, some clubs do that. But I don't think any of the clubs, Milan, look at what they did with Origi and Ballo Touré. They kind of did that, what you're saying, because they really want those guys gone. I just don't think they wanted the other guys gone as bad as we already discussed. If there's a specific player, Brian, you're talking about, then put him in the comments. But in general, I think they kind of went about it the right way. Bad YouTuber asks, we're still up 1-0? Yes, we are. I'm interested in the system bought by Fonseca. Zaccagni with the ball over the top. Yeah, Lazio's not looking very good. Has to be said. Chauano, if I said that right still. I do think the midfield pairing of Reinders and Fofana playing is exactly what we should have had from match day 1. And I think would have gotten possibly better results. You do have your best defensive midfielder and your best creative midfielder on the pitch. And that will help. We don't need 3 strikers, Kush, and Emerson was bad at Spurs. We don't need 3 strikers. I think we do. Watch one. We saw what happened. Alvaro Morata gets injured. What do we have then? Right? We tried to start Okafor. Didn't work. In the first match, we had Luka Jovic start. Didn't work. And I don't think it's going to work. I think they made a good call. And it's a dry loan anyways. No commitment. Nothing. You just get Tammy in. He has a quality. If he can replicate his form or bring back his form, I think it's a less stress job. I think we should have signed a better promising right back, for example, Molina. Okay, individual players I don't want to talk about right now, to be honest, because the transfer market is shut and I really don't want to consider players. Tyler says Dallas, Texas here too. Colin says Milan should try a 3-back. Milan has tried a 3-back. And I don't even know if they have I don't even know if they have 3 solid center backs right now. So I think I'm actually okay with the way that they're playing. Fonseca's second best system that he prefers to play is a 3-man back line. So if it really requires, he's probably going to switch to that, because he did get a little bit more success with the 3-man back line at Roma than he did with the 4-man back line. Chelsea fan here to support Pulisic, Tomori, Ruben. Do not get Tammy Abraham. Well, too late. MCIG. I think Milan should have signed another DM to pair with Fofana like that. Rangers could play alone as an attacking midfielder. Rangers on the ball. Oh, dispossessed so easily. That's too weak. Guendouzi goes out to Zaccagni on the left. Looks like a solid attack from Lazio. This is dangerous. Oh, that needed better delivery. They had bodies in the box. Chukwueze on the counter attack. This is where he needs to give a better ball. I was just about to say, give a better ball. Oh my God, Pulisic, nice defense. Oh my God, what is Lazio doing? Just shooting themselves in the foot over and over again. Loftus-Cheek driving with the ball up. Looks like a yellow card. Hi Kush, this is Pratap from India. Did you notice it's stabilizing? Did you notice it's stabilizing? Is this code for something? Kush, this is Pratap from India. Did you notice it's stabilizing? Sergio Silcian says, Lebanese here. Always wait for the takeaways for the next day, even after a loss. That's how much this channel means to me. Oh, I appreciate it, my friend. You guys are so sweet, man. You guys are way too nice to me. And I appreciate it. I honestly do. Since day one and now pushing 12K, yes, we are getting there. And we will definitely get there soon enough. And since Sergio brought it up, there won't be any 4 takeaways today because my friends are downstairs. They're just giving me some time and space to be able to do this. They're patiently waiting for me. We're supposed to go for lunch. I said I can't, gotta do this. So they're just sitting downstairs playing some games and just waiting. So as soon as the game is done, I have commitments today, but I will be back next week with a video. Let's see what kind of result Milan gets today. That's going to kind of dictate how the video is going to be. Oh, Pulisic and Chukwueze stepping up for this free kick. So no 4 takeaways today, but we'll be back soon. Pulisic steps up. He's going to take the free kick? Wow. Wins a corner kick. Pulisic has been given like free range right now from this Milan management. Step up, do your thing. Is this his team now? What do you guys think? Is this Pulisic's team now? Let me know in the comments. I know what my answer is, but I want to hear your answer. Is this AC Milan Pulisic's team now? Chukwueze steps up for the corner kick. Let's watch this. Chukwueze with nice whip ball in. Oh, Fofana, if he had a better connection. This was such a good ball from Chukwueze. That was dangerous. The zip on that was perfect. El Manuelo asks, is Milan going to beat Inter? Honest answer, not. It's going to be tough. It's a derby, so any game is, anything is possible. But based on present form, I think you would give Inter our favorites for sure. I don't think you can blame Leao and Teo or even Fonseca because the season just started and the team is still adjusting to the new system. I would agree with Fat Cat. I not that you can't blame them. Actually, you know what? Let me take that away a little bit. Fat Cat, I think you're right partially. I think Teo has to be blamed for the 2 goals that were conceded against Parma. I think those were horrible goals to concede. He was slow walking, sleepwalking on both of those chances, and it was easy tap-ins for the opposition. So that wasn't good enough. So I do blame Teo. I blame Leao a little less because Leao has actually been pretty good in the 2 games, but he just hasn't been. He hasn't been playing for the team's cause a lot of the times. When he misses a chance, he's just on the floor on his hands and knees while the other team is counterattacking. You almost get the sense that Leao thinks his responsibility for this team is from the midway to the opposition's goalpost, to the opposition's box. Sorry, it's not from midway to his box. There's nothing that he needs to do there, and that's not quite it. And when he did miss that chance to score, he's on his hands and knees, and Parma was counterattacking against Milan, and Leao is just completely out of the frame, disinterested. I think that's the problem. So there is blame. I blame Leao a lot less because Leao is still, I think, Milan has what? How many goals have we scored? 3 this season? Well, 4 today. Leao has assisted 1. Oh, wow. Okafor with the ball to Pulisic. Pulisic with the cross. And oh my goodness, how Loftus-Cheek did not tap that into an empty net is beyond me. That should have been a second goal for Milan. Playing a lot better. Pulisic is decisive once again. Well, I've seen in the first half, if I was making 4 takeaways, the first green box would go to Pulisic up until now for sure. Christian with a lovely first ball. Oh my God. No, Loftus-Cheek, bro. You should have slid in for that. Something. Fofana. Pass it to Loftus-Cheek. Fofana. Why didn't he shoot it? Been watching the channel for a bit, but this is the first time joining a watch along. Keep it up. I love the sober analysis of matches and players. I appreciate it, Brian Davis. I don't do as many lives. I couldn't do a 4 takeaways as I said today, so I usually leave the lives for those days where I can't. Hey Kush, Football John asks, are we gonna get our dream come true with seeing you in Sempre Milan's channel or vice versa? Yeah, I mean Sempre Milan. I was supposed to have Sempre Milan on the channel for the preview, but we had some scheduling issues, so we couldn't actually make it happen. And then I messaged Steph from Sempre Milan, and he had some issues. I think he lost his phone. So message him, let him know, ask him if his phone is okay and found now. But yeah, it would be, we're definitely are planning something to put something together for you guys. We've been in touch. Haven't done it quite yet, but we've definitely been in touch to do more. I do want to do more collabs. I want to talk to a lot other Milan creators. I want to get their takes. I was getting bored of YouTube until I found your channel. As an AC Milan, this channel is perfect. Thank you, Nikola Vasilevich. In my opinion, it shouldn't be. I'm American and a fan of his, but he hasn't been there long enough, in my opinion. Oh, you're talking about, is this Pulisic's team? Patrick Harton with a very poised and rational take. I do agree with that. Pick and Flick says, I highly doubt it. I'm a huge Pulisic fan, Liam says, but haha, not quite his team. I'm just happy he's playing well and healthy. I gotta agree. I agree. We need him to be playing well. This is the point of signing Pulisic. Was, he had the versatility to be able to play on the right as an attacking midfielder, as a left winger. Even if you watch my first video of, where he was going to play, this was the part that I was talking about, was an asset for Milan, that he could play in a lot of positions. Oh, Pavlovic, what did you do? Did you just elbow a guy? Who is that, Tati? So, what happened there? There was a bit of a collision between Castellanos and Pavlovic. I think the ref is no, that's not Castellanos, that's someone else. Oh, it is. Yes, it is. So they'll have to look into that. Oh, no way. You're not giving that as a penalty. Not a chance. Okay, the Tomori-Pavlovic partnership will last. I love Pavlo already, yes. This is what Milan had been looking for a while. And 2 games in, he's definitely looking good. MCIG says, Pulisic is LeBron. That was Colin Miller, by the way. And Terracciano with the throw-in. Fofana on the ball. Fofana with a nice ball out to Okafor. Noah. Oh my God, Noah, you got to get rid of it. Oh my God, Castellanos with a horrible touch. MCIG says, Pulisic is the LeBron of football, vastly underrated and hated by Europeans. Well, you didn't hear it here first. We've heard it a lot of times. Pulisic. Emerson. There it is. That's halftime. Yeah, so Lazio actually are getting booed off by their supporters at the Stadio Olimpico. I think the expectation, obviously, Tammy Abraham did look like he's there. Someone asked earlier on if Tammy Abraham could be playing today. Looks like he could be. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a Roma player. I think he would like to make his debut for Milan against Lazio and, do exactly what we all hope he would do. What would you say about this first half? I mean, at the end of the day, guys, there was someone who was saying that Milan plays significantly better as a team today. I think they played good. I think Lazio, quite honestly, when it comes to inspiration and the quality of play, outside of the first 10 minutes, Lazio may have been one of the weaker teams that Milan has played in 3 matches. Torino has been strong, since the beginning of the season, not just against Milan in the second match as well. They had a tough start to the season and they've gotten results, or at least some points. And Parma was actually pretty effective. Parma might be a much better team than a lot of people anticipated, since they got, they came back into Serie A. You could actually say that potentially, from the teams that Milan has played, Lazio has been one of the weaker teams. So they are up 1-0. They did have defensive issues in the beginning of the first maybe about 10, 12 minutes. Emerson Royal does seem like a weak point. Pavlovic, we've sort of just gotten reconfirmation on how Milan has been playing since the first game. The weaknesses of Milan have still looked slightly weak, but there has been a little bit more defensive solidity. I think at one point in time, if it was Rafael Leão in that position, he wouldn't have checked back to help out in defense, and Pulisic did do exactly that. He did notch the ball off of that Lazio player and turned a defensive play for Milan into attacks. I think those little things that we've talked about in the past as to what someone like Pulisic as a left winger or Pulisic as a player on the team can bring were brought into this game as well. But outside of that, I think this game would love to have Theo in it. You take Terracciano off and you put Theo in, I think this game would actually be much more favorable to Milan. So if this was a fitness, potential fitness issue that Milan was having in dropping Theo, and if he doesn't have a fitness issue, and he actually can be brought on, you gotta bring him on. Terracciano's not stronger than Theo right now, attack-wise, and he hasn't even really been that much stronger than Theo defensively, because he didn't make a mistake at the beginning. He completely left his man unmarked, and since then, Lazio have really failed to launch any type of a quality attack from Milan's left flank, their Lazio's right flank. So I would 100% take Terracciano off and put Theo on. You got to maximize on it. You've had 2 tough starts, 2 tough matches. You have to capitalize on a 1-0 lead away from home and put your best players on. You made your point. You dropped them. I'd bring on Theo now. I think Leao would be a little bit of a different story, because if you look at Rafa, if you look at Pulisic's performance, it has quite honestly been solid. I think Chukwueze has been a little bit more on the iffier side. Let's see if I can pull up the... No, let me fix that first for you guys, and then we can look at those ratings. So if we look at Pulisic here, if we look at Chukwueze here, he's sitting, FootMob puts him as a 6.4, and that is fairly reflective of his performance. If we look at the ratings that the entire squad has gotten, Okafor is sitting at a 6.2. I think that's because of his lack of finishing. I don't think Okafor has actually been bad enough, has been the worst player on the team. He's actually been fairly decent when it comes to attacking chances created. If anything, Chukwueze should probably have the lowest rating. But either way, I think Okafor missed too many chances where he could have taken a shot and he didn't. So he gets the lowest rating. But if you look at that, Pulisic and Terracciano getting a 7.0, I mean, I guess that's fine. But clearly, Christian has been the best player. You look at what Chukwueze and Royal have offered you, I would strongly consider... I mean, you guys let me know. What do you think? Would you bring Leao on at this point? I think I would. I would even, it's obviously drastic and a bit extreme. I would even kind of consider, and you guys tell me what you think, because, maybe I would consider switching to a 4-3-3 where you put Fofana as a defensive midfielder, You have Reinders and Loftus-Cheek playing, and then you take Chukwueze off, put Pulisic up front all the way. Keep Chukwueze on, put Pulisic instead of Okafor, and bring Rafael Leão in, almost like a false 9. Maybe even keep the same system and just switch Pulisic and Okafor and bring Leao on, because I think Leao could do a lot more in this game than what we've seen Okafor do. And Okafor also doesn't really, at the end of the day, let's be honest, he doesn't really help out in defense either. So it is a little bit radical what I'm saying, but you're looking at the team. Yusuf Fofana gets his first start today, picks up a 6.5. Reinders looking like a 6.5. Loftus-Cheek, I think, gets a very favorable 6.4 right now. I don't think he's played as a 6.4. But Pavlovic, up until now, with the highest rating, 8.1. I think I think at the end of the day, it's a decision that the coach has to make that has to be with an eye to the future. As I talked in the beginning of the video, it would be a risk. He already took the chance. He took that risk. He's dropped the players. He's made his point. I think now it's time to capitalize on that 1-0 lead. I would definitely bring Theo on as soon as possible. Take Terracciano off, Theo on. Theo can really exploit that space that is getting created. There's so many times that Lazio players have made wayward passes that are dropping to Milan players. You need, Milan has 2 explosive players, Leao and Theo. I think this game could use one of them. And I would bring Theo on for sure. Let me see what you guys have to say in the comments. There's about 300 of you guys here almost. That is, I don't think I've seen that number on the channel. So first of all, I really appreciate this. That's a crazy number, almost 300 of you guys. So if you can, and if you haven't already, please make sure. Oh, it usually freezes me whenever I put my thumb up. I hope it didn't. Okay, so just like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate massively your support. I appreciate all of you guys watching. Get in the comment section now and tell me what you guys think. I'm going to try and catch as many comments as possible. But as I said, there's almost 300 of you guys here, so could be a bit of a challenge. But let's see what you have to say. All right, Kush for president. That's the first comment. So that's we're off to a great start. Okay, take Chuku off. I appreciate it, Davide, by the way. David or Davide Gersoni. Fofana and Rangers are a brilliant duo. I think they have been the most effective duo that Milan has had. But I will again, I think we have to be cognizant of the team that you're playing against, because Lazio have been weak at the end of the day. Take Chuku off, move Pulisic to the right, and put Leao in. I would, if we keep and stick with the traditional path of what we've usually done, this would be the change that I would make. I was trying to keep all 3 of those guys on the pitch. Maybe I would take, actually, you know what? I would maybe even consider taking Okafor off. Loftus-Cheek off. He hasn't been that much more effective today than he has been ineffective in the first 2 matches anyways. Put Pulisic in there, behind the striker. Let Okafor play up front. Or maybe even consider bringing Tammy on. Too many changes. Let's calm down. Bring Pulisic as a central attacking midfielder. Leave Okafor on. Put Leao on. Or leave the thing the way it is. Take Terracciano off. Put Theo on. One of those things in my opinion, has to be done. Such a boring game. No chances created for both teams. I have to agree with that. That's why you got to exploit, because you actually have the players with the individual characteristics to be able to create chances. As you said, no chances created by both teams. Leao can create a chance for you from nothing. Theo can create a chance for you from nothing. You have those personalities. Lazio cannot remotely say they have players of that level. You just have 2 players with class on your team that are going through a dip in form. No doubt. Try and get that form back up, and your team will be better for it. Ryan says, we're playing something close to a 4-4-2 with Okafor and Loftus-Cheek as a 2-striker and Pulisic and Samu on the flank, helping with the defending. If Leao comes on, will he help with the defending? Rayan, sorry, maybe your name is Rayan Salmon. I don't know. That's a tough one. Because that might be partly the reason why he's been dropped. Sorry, that's the clock ticking. That might be the reason he's actually been dropped. Is because he won't help out with defense. And that's what needs to be done. Das says, brown guys from Milan. Wow. Well, I would say all guys from Milan. How about that? Oh, I don't want to start that all things matter, all that. Anyways, your tactics are good. I agree. Football up. Brian agrees with some of the movements that I was suggesting. Pulisic to central attacking midfielder, Leao left wing, and Camarda straight. Might be too much for Camarda, to be honest. Do you watch and support any other teams outside of Serie A? Well, TFC, Toronto FC, have to. I'm from Toronto. And obviously a lot of other teams, man. Cricket, I love my Indian team, obviously. But I don't know if you're talking about football specifically. But no, not much outside of Serie A. I mean, I watch Premier League, but that's it. Premier League and Serie A. Premier League has really good product on the screen. I enjoy watching it on screen, and they're very high tempo, so they're fun games to watch. I think Leao should stay benched. That question was from Joran Hoydal. I think Leao, B says, I think Leao should stay benched for today. He needs to realize that there is competition for his spot. I do think that point has already been made. That's why I think it's okay to bring him on and capitalize on the result. You know, we can't spend 90 minutes sending a message to Leao and Theo. We need to spend 90 minutes trying to pick up 3 points. And this is a big 3 points when you pick it up against an opposition like Lazio away from home. So I think the point has sort of already been made. So I would consider bringing one of those two guys on. Theo on, RLC off, Pulisic to central attacking midfielder, Leao to left. Marcus, I don't disagree with you at all. Chris Gomez says, Football Kush, I love you. Chris Gomez, love you too, my friend. Terracciano made lots of inverted, unselfish runs that left Pulisic in space, so he was great first half. Terracciano wasn't bad. I think so too. Their stats on Pulisic here: 3 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist, 9 chances created. Not gonna lie, Chukwueze is not good right now. Raksha, I do kind of agree with you. I would stop. Mikel says, I would swap Ruben with Reinders. He's more creative. That is what you would have considered strongly, because Reinders is that creative personality. You can play him as a central attacking midfielder, but then who partners up with Fofana? I guess you would partner up Loftus-Cheek. He would play deeper. Yeah, that's actually Mikel. I can't really fight that. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to think of how to counter that and say maybe there is something that is missing there, but that is a good point. Because Loftus-Cheek will probably offer a little bit more solidity because of his size and strength, even in that defensive, tandem with Fofana from a defensive standpoint. So maybe you're onto something there. Brian, active in the comments today. Football Kush, your tactics for subbing Okafor for Leao and switching to a 4-3-3 are good because RLC is an 8 and Rangers is more effective as an 8. Fofana is in a 6, but he'll be all right, I think. I think you summarized my point. Vivek says, Kush, other than football channel, what do you do for a living? I sell houses, my friend. I sell houses in Toronto, so that is the main business, but let's do whatever we can to turn this into the main business. LMFAO, Engineer says, Kush getting spicy. Replace RLC, he's doing nothing. Hamid, I do, someone, said that to switch RLC and Rangers. I don't mind that. I would like to see that, but RLC has been fairly ineffective. I would agree. Still singing the Redbird line, Kush. Ajay. Not nice. Tell me how. What did I say that is the Redbird line? Give me a little bit more detail. Dweep says, why don't we do an actual 4-4-2 with Okafor and Leao? I don't think Leao likes to play the 4-4-2. I don't think he likes to play that advanced. He likes to play wider. He can move better wider. When you're playing a 4-4-2 and he's much more central, you lose the advantage of having nobody to your left. It's a different game. You're navigating a lot more bodies around you. And I think Leao's much more comfortable playing as he does have the personality to be able to play as a second striker, but I think he has to play as a second striker, Leao, to a really high quality center forward, like mostly an Ibrahimovic. So I think he wouldn't actually be as good as on a 4-4-2 up front. Someone said, as a Galaxy fan, we've got your former manager. Well, good luck with him. I don't watch MLS as much, but I wish everybody all the best, I guess. Royal has been scrappy and no offense. Calabria really is mostly just the name we love. Sorry, the play doesn't back that take. We mostly love. I don't know if I understand that completely. Kush, meh. 3 meh games for Chukwueze. Yeah, I can't disagree. They have been meh. He was pretty good in the preseason, and then they have been fairly ineffective. I think the team in itself hasn't played very well. So it's not just, it would be unfair to single out Chukwueze, because the whole squad has been pretty poor in the first few games. But it is a partly new team. Partly. It is a new coach. It is a partly new system. It's going to take time. I won't judge yet, but what we have seen till now hasn't been necessarily the best. There you go. Someone said it's Zaki said the coach said that Theo is not fully ready physically yet, and that is what we had noticed, is that he wasn't running the same pace. He didn't look his best, and you can associate the performance from Theo in the first couple matches, especially in the match against Parma, as being lazy and ineffective, or you can call it he's just not ready yet. He's just not fit yet, because and we've seen this from Theo for so many seasons. You watch my 4 takeaways from last 2 seasons. 3 games in, I'm always saying Theo not looking good, but we know he takes his time. Theo not looking good 4 games in, but we know he takes his time. And then suddenly 10 games go by, or 10 is too much actually. 5 games go by, and he's such a different player. So let's just hope that that's what it is. Das asks, who's the Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar of Milan? Das, you must know. The Sachin Tendulkar of Milan is the greatest cricket player ever, would have to be, for me, Paolo. And the Virat Kohli would have to be Kaká. I actually agree with that take. Although Virat Kohli is playing right now, so maybe Leao? Maybe? Salim has a few questions. He's got bullet points going. I have some questions. Do you think Pavlovic is a great signing? I think Pavlovic is a very effective signing. We'll see if he's great or not. But I'm very, very on board with that move, and I'm very happy with what we've seen from the first 2 games. Do you think Emerson is a bad signing? Not quite yet. I think he has been poor in the match against Parma. He was a little weak at couple points today, but Lazio hasn't really attacked too much anyways. Game's back on, by the way. But I wouldn't say that he's a bad signing, because I don't like knee-jerk reactions on these things. I think these things have to be looked at, thought out, and talked about once there's enough sample size of evidence to see if it's good or bad. I think it's too early to say. That's why I said, even Pavlovic, I didn't say a great signing, because we got to wait and see. Do you think Fonseca gives Giampaolo vibes? Not at all. Not to me. No, not to me at all. But he will. If the results don't pick up. At some point he will. But, as discussed earlier too, Giampaolo was very, very rigid. Right? He wasn't... I think when he became the coach, he was benching. He didn't want to start any of the new signings. I think he kept he kept playing the old team over and over again. It's like Fonseca coming in and just playing the exact same squad that we had last season in a very similar system, and being rigid from starting Alvaro Morata and saying, no, I'm just going to start Luka Jovic. No, I'm not going to consider Pavlovic. I'm going to just stay with Malik Tau. So I think that was a problem with Giampaolo. So no, not to me at all. I think Fonseca seems much more pragmatic. Oh, that's not a good pass from Ficaio. Come on, man. You can't do that. Turns into a Lazio attack. Pavlovic is running like a rabid dog right now. He's playing as almost a left back. So Pavlovic is really, really man-marking there. Or really not even man-marking. He's almost ball-marking there. He's just running after the ball. And Fofana sort of dropped in deep to be able to hold his spot. There are a lot of questions here, I'll be honest, guys. It's not possible for me to go through all of them. But I hope some of you guys are just having discussions between each other too. Swap Rabiot. At this point, I'm just picking comments at random. Swap Rabiot in for Luke Skywalker says, swap Rabiot in for RLC and play Rangers as a 10. Oh, wait. That's for next week. Oh, I see what you did there, Luke. Let's hope so. But I think you mean next match day, because a couple weeks break. I'll take the break. Pavlovic sending Yap Stam vibes. Love him already. Keep up the good channel, Kush. Daniel Foster, thank you for your kind comments, my friend. And again, just like in the first 10 minutes, Milan looked, sort of weak defensively. It looks similar shaky start from the back line. Shaky start, but not too bad yet. Martino's messaging me right now. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, he went for the dummy. Fikayo with, wow, lovely footwork. Inside the box, Fikayo just getting past everybody. Pulisic must have been a foul on Okafor. That is a foul for sure. Really can't wait to see more from the team with Morata up front. He would release our struggling wingers a lot more for sure. He would. I mean, losing him was, after the first game, was rough. The only thing you can hope for is that he'll be back for match day 4 and not match day 5 now against Inter. So let's hope he gets some playtime before the derby kicks in. Yair asks, do you think we have enough to go up automatically in the Champions League? I mean, honestly, our opposition, like the teams that Milan are pitted against, are what the toughest ones are: Bayer Leverkusen, Liverpool, and Madrid. The other teams are not very strong. So really, if they can get a result even against one of those sides in Leverkusen, Liverpool, and Madrid, they should be able to do pretty well in their group. But honestly, right now it's just hard to say. This team has been very tough to watch. You saw how they played against Torino. You saw how they played against Parma. It is tough to say what's going to happen in the Champions League. I think we just don't know enough yet. If we go by what is happening right now, let's cross our fingers and hope for the best, because it hasn't been very impressive. Anil says, Leao lacks the confidence to be a finisher in this team. 9 out of 10 chances he has, he misses. Can't be world class like that. I would agree partly, but he creates a lot of chances too. And we can't just gloss over that. I think last season he created the most chances, or the second most chances in the top 5 leagues in Europe. I think just behind Vinicius Jr., was it? So I quote me if correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think he was definitely one of the highest chance creators in all of top 5 leagues. So he brings in something different. But when you are playing in the system and you're playing as a left winger, you do have to have the ability to finish your chances, because you just become a liability. Then you can't always have a teammate with you. And with the kind of pace that Leao has, you sometimes can't even have teammates matching up to your pace. So you're going to be isolated a lot. And if you're going to be isolated, you have to finish your chances. And some of the chances that he misses are just not on. It's not even like, he's dribbling past, he's having to... Fofana with a good header there. Sorry, that was Fikayo. It goes offside. I think I just get a little bit hesitant to say that, he can't be world class like that, but you're right. He has to finish his chances. If he truly wants to become world class as a complete all round left wing player, he's gonna have to add shooting to his repertoire for sure. Is what Fonseca doing to Gabia okay? Kodak Whoosh asks. He has to play his best 11. He has to play his best defenders. And the best defenders are Fikayo Tomori and Pavlovic. So is what he doing to him okay? I don't know. Let's wait and see. You have to remember there's gonna be a time. Right now, even I'm enjoying this. 1 game a week. You're taking your time. There's going to come a time where there's going to be a Monday game or Lazio on attack. Fofana, Milan might get released here for a counter-attack. Oh, they absolutely could have there. If he had gotten the ball to Chukwueze, they would have gotten released for sure. Yeah, Lazio is very ineffective when they have the ball. Especially if they have the ball in the midfield. If they have the ball, around the wings, they're a little bit more effective. They can get the ball over, but in the midfield, they really can't pass it properly enough to get an attack going. Pavlovic. Sorry, I forgot what point I was making, but I think it was regarding Gabia. But it has to be said that, he has to play his best team. That's the bottom line. G2 Gamer says, bro, I always love your content. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Amon says, hold on, Lazio on attack, crossed it in. This is dangerous, but no, not enough guys in the box. And where their guys are, Chukwueze with the ball right to a Lazio player. They go back on attack. If this is a goal, this is on Chuk. Loftus-Cheek released. Loftus-Cheek uses his pace. Needs to pass the ball. He does. Goes to Pulisic. If Leao was in this position, man, imagine. Christian gets past one. No, Okafor. Oh, Okafor. That was not Pulisic, by the way. That was Okafor the whole time. I have my glasses on. Let's look proper. Amon says, do you see goal difference playing an important role for top 8 in Champions League? I mean, if that's the divider between the teams, it must. Whatever is the second benchmark to how teams tied on points are going to be divided, naturally becomes an important benchmark, right? In Serie A, I prefer the Serie A way, which is head-to-head, not goal difference. Premier League has goal difference. That's how they adjust their table. Serie A has head-to-head. I prefer that any day. So, yeah, if goal difference is the differentiator between teams on tied points, most definitely it'll be an important thing. Oh, mama, there's so many comments here. It's looking like Pulisic is playing striker sometimes. Well, you need a fluid system. He is an attacking player. I don't really see him that much. I think Okafor has been mostly playing that role, but is Chukwueze really good enough to start? He's not helping his cause. Goalmaster with a bit of spam. Goalmaster, I'd appreciate if we don't spam, but I will take your question just for this one time. But you are spamming a bit. Do you think Abraham is a good signing? I think it is oh my goodness, wow, that was a certain goal for Lazio if that pass was on. Wow, that had to have been a goal. Milan got really lucky there. Just poor passing from this team. Do you think Abraham is a good signing? I think it's a signing that has potential. If it was a signing that costed Milan a bunch of money, I would say, what are we doing? But the fact that it's a dry loan swap, which is rarely ever even heard of, it's like a video game thing. But it is done, and I would take it because I didn't see much coming from Alexis anyways. I didn't think Alexis was going to be as effective a player. And this is one of the guys I used to really like on this team. But what do you expect Alexis to do? Can't play right, can't play left. You got Pulisic, you got Chukwueze, you got Leao. He's not going to get enough play time. You might as well strengthen an area that you already find yourself weak in. Because Okafor, as we've seen today, as we've seen in the match against Parma, he comes off the bench and he's effective, but he as a starter, as a center forward, there are question marks. Luka Jovic, we saw, was ineffective in the first game. Morata's injured. I'd take Tammy Abraham any day instead of... If you're giving me the option of Tammy Abraham and Alexis, I would take Tammy. And if you say no money, just free, Tammy or Alexis, I would say, yeah, Alexis wasn't even here last season. Let's strengthen an area that we actually need help in. Toma Tails. Will Leao come in this game? Let's see, Toma. I'm really hoping. Okay, Goalmaster, you got to stop. I don't even know how to... I can't block you, my friend. So let's be nice to everybody. Oh. That was collected comfortably on mic, but that was tough. Fonseca took the friendlies in more seriousness than in the league. I just hope he stops experimenting and starts being a coach. I can't watch this any longer. Sprit Spurt Svensson. I don't think that is exactly it, but I understand your point. I get the larger sense of your point. I think it's a competitive game when you're playing in a... Oh my goodness, Okafor got in the way of Pulisic there, but Okafor releases Chukwueze possibly. Chukwueze, this is a one-on-one for for Samuel. Samuel, you have to do something a little bit more lively. Oh my goodness, he should have scored there. Who was this? Terracciano? Oh, Chukwueze, Terracciano should have scored there. That's a second goal right there. Chukwueze with actually a decent pass out there to Terracciano. My word. One-on-one. Gets past him. Crosses a comfortable ball. Oh, Terracciano. Who was jumping there? Was that Leao jumping there while warming up? I really hope that was Leao jumping there. Yeah, that was Leao jumping there. Okay, Milan with the corner kick. Chukwueze steps up. Rangers. So Rafa is warming up. Oh, that's a bad ball. So Rafa is warming up, and I think when Terracciano took that shot and it went over the bar, Leao was jumping with his hand on his head, up and down, which is exactly what you want to see. You want to see, like, the fans are a little bit on edge with what Fonseca did. But you want the players to show that, hey, we're beyond this. It's okay. The coach dropped us. Maybe we haven't been playing well. We're going to show him that we're better than what he thinks we are. And we're gonna be happy in the team's cause. When we concede a goal, or when we score a goal, we're gonna celebrate it. We're not gonna be unhappy, or we're not gonna put a bit of a face on the camera that whatever, we scored. So it's nice to see Leao sort of jumping up and down on that Terracciano miss. Isaacson gets into the box, outdone by Terracciano. Outdid Terracciano twice. So bring Theo on. If Teo's fit and can give you a good 30 minutes, bring him on. Because Isaacson is effective, and he's going to outdo Terracciano for sure. And you can tell that he will. Romagnoli. Kyle says Leao isn't world class. He's in a striker. He's a great winger, and I appreciate that. For me, he does enough. Milan's defense and midfield have been the issue the past 2 seasons. Summed up. Spurt says Gabbia is actually way better than Pavlovic. He evolved in La Liga. Hey, look, Gabbia outdid my expectation of Gabbia last season. So I'm not going to say that he's not better than Pavlovic, because I don't know how to really compare them right now. Since, oh my God, Milan's going to get cut open here. Rangers in the back. Rangers, stay on him. That's a goal. I knew they're going to get cut open. You could just see it coming. And I think that might be put on Terracciano partly. Castellanos scores 1-1. Let me just see what happened there. But you could tell that looked like that goal was coming. And let's see what happened there, because we need to watch this. Because if Theo's not there and we're having the same problem, then you can't even blame Theo. And it came from the right flank. I think every single goal that Milan has conceded this season, I think they've conceded 4 goals, now 5. Every single goal, the progression, the initial progression, has come from the right flank. Our right flank. Yeah, look at that. Where is Emerson Royal? Fikayo's overcommitted up top. Pavlovic doesn't really get in that. Terracciano's nowhere close to Tati. I don't know what's going on. I honestly don't understand what that was. That was just a complete defensive breakdown. Complete breakdown defensive. That's just garbage defending again. So congratulations. You can rest Leao and Theo all much as you want. Emerson is out of position, Engineer says. Emerson to blame, Komodo says. Kevin says Emerson is a waste of time. Isaacson getting... What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Empty net almost. What are you guys doing? Where is Emerson Real, to be honest? Pulisic gets on this. Pulisic to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek makes the run. Okay, gets fouled for sure. What are you doing? It's draining. And they could have conceded another one. This defense project is going so well. Yeah, Fikayo got slammed in the stomach, but what is he doing? Where is Emerson? Adrian says slow tracking back. Absolutely terrible. Komodo, he didn't even run back, jog back, Emerson. Yeah, he didn't. I can promise you one thing. I'm not trying to say Davide Calabria is suddenly a great player. Calabria would be running full click. He has the heart. He doesn't have the level of skill, in my opinion, to be a consistent right back for Milan. But the guy has the heart. And he would have been running back, full pace. And Emerson was jogging back. Terracciano shouldn't be a Milan player. Emerson is 3 time zones away. Emerson caught out of position again. Emerson is a different freaking zip code. Tamori out of position too. Everybody has their own take on the goal. Pavlovic is the one to be blamed for Brian. Hold on. Let's see what happens here. Tati with another pass. My goodness. Fofana with the rescue. Emerson, Fikayo and Fofana with the rescue. Hold on. There's attack. Oh my goodness. Emerson is so slow on this. If this is a goal, this is so his fault. Yes, it is. What is this guy doing? What is he doing? He's just outdone so easily. Guess who's coming on, guys? Guess who's coming on now? It's going to be Rafael Leão. And it's possibly going to be Theo Hernandez. Because those are the guys you need. You can do this experimenting as much as you want. But those are the guys who get you goals too. And those guys are coming on. But my goodness, what garbage defending from Emerson Royal. Just absolute, I don't even know what to say about that. He's standing. He's just standing around. The fact that this is the request we have to make now, this is what we have to ask for now. I mean, this is bad. I swear to God, I prefer Calabria right now after the 2 performances from Emerson Royal. 100% prefer Calabria from the 2 performances from Emerson Royal, not in general. Calabria, another 6 goals. I don't want to swear. 6 goals scored from Milan. Every single one has come from the right flank. Every single one goal. The attack has started from that flank. And then gone to the opposite end. And there's no one to help there. It's a wing issue, right and left. And if you think Terracciano is going to solve that problem for you, Paulo, Mr. Fonseca, you're mistaken. Bring Leao on. Stop this stupidity. He should have brought him on as soon as it was 1-1. Bring Theo on. We need them. And they're coming on, I can promise you, in the last 20 minutes. Let's be real. We scored a goal off a corner kick. Right? We didn't score a goal from some brilliant open play from the team where this pass goes here, that pass goes there. Look at this team. Look at how they move. Boom, goal. It's a corner kick with a horrible defensive performance from Lazio. A horrible attacking performance from Lazio, so you managed to keep a clean sheet for the first 45 minutes. But as soon as Lazio woke up, you're down 2-1. Where are the subs after the first goal? How can we concede 2 goals so fast? Because that's what we're good at. We're good at conceding. Time to learn Japanese, Emerson. Look at that. Four changes are coming in. And guess who's going to be 2 of them? Rafael Leão and Theo Hernandez. Yeah, you're playing the same game as you were playing in the first 2 games. A catch-up game. We played the catch-up game for 2 matches in a row. We have to play it again today. You know what you could have also done? I don't know if it would have helped, to be honest, the defensive line. When you're up 1-0 after the first 45 minutes, you made your point to Theo and Leao. Now bring him on in the second half. Now you're bringing them on when you're down 2-1. And now if Leao and Theo can get this done, then, I mean, it's egg on the face of Paulo Fonseca for sure. Mentality is weak. Man, Daniel, everything's weak, bro. It's just not the mentality. It's everything. Emerson Royal is weak. Coaching is weak. Vision is weak. Rangers is coming off now too. And Musa is going to solve this problem for us? Okay. Chukwueze is weak. Okafor is weak. And Tammy Abraham is coming on too now. Milan are still trash in defense. Yes. Was he just running along with him to motivate him? Yeah, that's what Emerson Royal was doing. Where's Calabria? Bring him on too. 4 changes in the 70th minute. I mean, what a desperate change you have to make. Because he just didn't want to make those changes at the right time. Joke's on you, Fonseca. Yeah, it is. It is on him. 3 games, 6 goals conceded. That's just great. Yeah. And all 6 of them, Ryder Broda. All 6 of them from the right flank. All 6 of them. Still want Emerson Royal as starting player? Shush everybody who wants this player at Milan. 6 goals in 3 games now. Army says, say goodbye to our Scudetto chances. My friend, let's just hope we can hold on to Champions League at this point. Lazio will score a 3rd. Watch. Well, Theo and Leao are here, so hopefully not. Tammy with a nice touch. Rafa with another. Oh, crisp ball from Rafa to Theo, to Tammy. Rafa, Leao. Goal! Rafa! 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 There's our boy. That's poetic. Someone said it'll be poetic if these guys don't and Milan win. And this is what I said. It'll be more poetic if Milan's down or Milan's drawing. And Rafael Leão and Theo Hernandez come on and Rafa and Theo score. This is fucking poetic. Let's get a 3rd. What play from Rafa. What balls. My goodness, so crisp. He knew he needed to score. He just knew he needed to score. That's poetic. What a pass from Leao to Tammy. Cooling break. How many of you guys are here? 304. Well, thank you very much, first of all. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit the like button. 123 people have liked it, but it would be nice if we can, crack 200. There's 300 of you here. There is a cooling break. I do have one request. I might just quickly use the washroom, so just stick around. Sorry. And I'll be back in 2 seconds. Let's go. Just in time. Cooling break is over. Promise I wash my hands. But that's the goal we needed. Oh no, he brought his mic in the bathroom. Ha ha ha. No, I didn't. Don't be sneaky there. Imagine we score when he's in the bathroom. No, we didn't. I timed it well. I waited for the cooling break. Oh my God, Mike, where are you? What are you doing? We got about 16 minutes to make this happen. Okay. The last thing Milan can afford right now is another defensive lapse. They have to pick up 3 points now. I mean, they look like they're the more... Lazio look like the team that are more likely to concede right now because they have upped the quality with Leao and Theo coming back on. Look at that. Look at that hustle from Rafa. Not letting go off the ball. Kevin asks, didn't realize you stand. Yes, I was standing today because my friend has a standing desk, which helps a lot. And I felt like I was in the, because I'm always sitting. And I was like, man, you know what? Let me just use this desk, raise this level, and just stand and watch today. So it's kind of nice to just be able to jump around here and there. Eunice. Musa to Loftus-Cheek. Very similar personalities, but the two guys are playing good changes, I guess. Oh my God, Fofana, what are you doing? You don't need to thread the needle there, my friend. Just get the ball back now. Fofana has to get the ball back. Don't overcommit, though. Isaacson with a almost dangerous ball drops right to Fofana, so that problem solved. Fofana. Pulisic. Fofana's opening up. Christian, release him. Rafa. Leao to Loftus-Cheek. Fofana to Leao. Rafa. Ooh. Little shimmy there, but couldn't really quite hold on to it. I really hope Lazio wins. Gerswin. If you're a Lazio fan, I understand, but come on, man. Oh, we have a few donations coming in too. I appreciate. Oh, hold on. Pietro. Long time channel member. Appreciate the channel members for giving me chances to be able to do this. Upgrade the cameras, upgrade the mics. Thank you, Pietro. Did you catch Theo and Leao refusing to participate in the cooling break with the rest of the team? I did not. I was in my own cooling break in the washroom. But I will definitely look back in the video and see. You guys tell me if there was actually anything happening. That was crazy. Tammy passing to Leao makes me happy. Omar Khaldi, I appreciate the donation. You're very kind. But Omar's question is, Tammy passing on Leao made me happy. Yes, Tammy, that was a solid sequence of goal from Milan from start to finish on the counter. That's exactly how you want this team to be able to finish. They have to tighten up their defense, but if these players are going to allow them to attack like that on that second goal, that is the most crisp goal that Milan has scored probably this entire season. Well, we're 3 games in, but it is. Because if I'm going back to thinking about the goals that we scored, you know, in the first match, that Okafor goal was a cross-in. The Alvaro Morata goal was a cross-in. I can't remember the Parma goal quite well. Yeah, I can't remember that one. But this goal today was actually from open play. It wasn't a cross. It wasn't a dead ball situation. Today we also scored off a corner kick. Today's goal, this was exactly what you want a team with Theo Hernandez, Rafael Leão, Tammy Abraham, these quality players like Pulisic. This is the way you want them to pass and score on teams. If that's a little subtle, you know, I guess not microcosm, but an idea of how they can score. As you said, Tammy passing to Leao made me happy. We'll be very happy throughout the entirety of the season if this team can pass like this. Kush, wondering what your thoughts are on potentially having to sacrifice Benacer for Rabiot. I think Benacer's cycle at Milan is over. I do think that, because I think Rangers is too similar to Benacer, and only one of them can really play. I would rather we... Oh, was that a handball for Terracciano? I think it went straight from his leg to his hand, so that won't be called a penalty because it struck his leg first, but that was semi-handball. Is that... Wait, Terracciano is still on. Oh, so he took Emerson Royal off and he put Terracciano on. This is, again, dangerous. What is happening? What is Milan doing? What are they doing? They almost conceded again. Again from the right fucking flank. Again. How do you guys keep doing this over and over again? Zach Dane. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Zach. Thank you for the donation again. Very kind, very generous. I really, really appreciate it. Who are the left back and right back in Milan Futuro? I'd reach the kids to solve this. Why do we sign Real? Oh man, you asked me a question I don't have the answer for. So now I feel bad. Bartesaghi, you're right. Gecko helps me out big time there for Zach's question. Bartesaghi is the left back. I don't know who the right back is. It's too soon, right, Zach? It would be too soon to bring these guys up anyways. You have European level quality players. Well, you'd hope. You have a captain in Calabria. Unless you have the quality of a player like we had Diego Lopez, a former Real Madrid goalkeeper, keeping for Milan, and you had the quality of a player like Donnarumma, 15, 16 years old, sitting there, and you make that switch, it's very tough to drop your captain right back or a European player like Emerson Royal and bring in a Futuro player there. You might just actually do a little bit more damage to the Futuro player because he might not be able to run and play the way with the top left wingers and the left flanks of Italian sides. So I don't know if they'll necessarily get chances here in a Serie A match, but Coppa Italia possible. I think it definitely is. There is a possibility, but you're also a club spending 10, 12. How much did we spend on Emerson Royal? Almost 20 million. You can't possibly make a 20 million euro signing and then not play him. So I get it, but I feel like it wouldn't quite change. Lazio with a corner kick. Oh, that could have been dangerous. Garv Vergnicker. Let me see that. Vergnicker. From anytime there's an attack coming on Milan from the right flank makes me nervous. Would Thiago Santos have been better? Garv knows. For me, yes. For me, yes. I watched Thiago Santos. I was stunned that we weren't looking at that player. I was confused why we weren't more serious on him. He's a player who's played for this coach, and he's played well for this coach. I would have gone with Thiago Santos over Emerson Royal, not for sure, but watching the first two games for sure. Hindsight's 2020. But I think they could have given a chance to Thiago Santos. And thank you again, Garv. I appreciate the donation and I appreciate your question. Brian, please watch the goals back and notice how Pavlovic wasn't marking the goal scorers. This guy's not... Yeah, but Brian, you got to understand, man. In that position... Hold on. Tammy on that ball. Milan's sort of slowed down after scoring that goal. I don't agree with you, Brian, there. But I have to watch the the second goal. Well, one of the goals, I felt like he wasn't to be blamed. I think Terracciano was more at fault. I think it was the first goal. Second goal, I have to see again. I still think that Pavlovic is actually a player that you have to continue to play. Because he does offer better quality than Gabbia does. Partly. He offers more physicality than Gabbia can. Gabbia is not a very tall player. He offers more physicality than Gabbia. He has a significant amount of experience, much more playing than Gabbia. He's played for the international team in one of it. Oh, looked like a handball there. That looked like a handball to me, to be honest. That's my first reaction. He's obviously going to check VAR, but... No, that's not a handball on Musa. No way. His hand's way too close to his body. No way. That's not a handball. No chance. His hand's way too close to his body. No way. That's not a penalty. I'm not calling it. I see some of you guys in the comment section, and you're making me nervous. Now I'm getting nervous. I'm seeing your comments, and maybe I have a little bit of a delay, but to me that's not a penalty at all. But let's see if this corner kick is taken, because if it is, that means it's not a penalty. His arm is right next to his body, so yeah, it's not a penalty. Why are you guys stressing me out saying it's a penalty? It's not. It's a corner kick. 5 minutes for Milan to do something. I hope Leao doesn't... Hold on. I have my drink there. My friends know how stressed out I am, so they're serving me some coffee. Uh-oh. Tati. Castellanos. Oh, look at that from Pavlovic. That's what you want. That's the solidity that he has that a lot of players don't. That's the size talking right there. That's the Pavlovic that I like. You know what, Zach? Yeah. This is the move that's the only move that doesn't make sense to me. Is letting go of Kalulu and bringing on Emerson. I think Kalulu's a better player. He's better defensively. He's a good quality right back. He sacrifices for your team. He joined you for 400 grand and became a Scudetto winner. That attaches you to the team right away. So he had the passion for the team. I'm with you. Now, this is a player that I really like to watch. Tijani Noslin. We have about 4 minutes for him to work his magic. Saw him play at Verona last season and he was solid. Fofana to Terracciano. I'm actually surprised that he's playing Terracciano and not Calabria. That is very surprising to me, because you're really avoiding playing Calabria. Look, Fonseca has a history. If you watch my, my preview about the manager and what his qualities are, he has a history of being very good with young players. He has brought young players to the forefront and made them better players in teams. If he sees something in Terracciano, I hope he's right. Wow, Pulisic was a lovely turn. My goodness. That was lovely from Christian. Musa has to pass the ball. Musa goes to Rafa. Rafa from outside the box. Musa on the ball. Yunus, make a good decision. Don't piss me off. Goes to Fikayo. Fikayo to Pavlovic. Look at Rafa. Dropping in deep. Rafa from outside the box. Tammy. Rafa. Oh. Rafa's seen something in Tammy for sure. He's seen something in Tammy. He's feeling like they can vibe together. The way that they're exchanging passes, I haven't even seen him do that with Luka Jovic or even Okafor for that matter. Maybe Giroud a little bit. But the way that Tammy and Rafa are moving, I really like it. Brian says, Noslin is from my country and used to work at Subway 5 years ago. Really? That's true. That's wild. We have played 3 games and have not seen any strategy from Fonseca. There's still free coaches like Sarri and Conceição available to salvage things. Oh, Nonso. 2 games, 3 games in. I don't know, man. It's a tough one for me. I can't. I mean, I don't like what I'm seeing necessarily. We're still depending on that individual Rafael Leão brilliance. in some cases. So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you per se, but I feel uneasy about firing a coach from 2 games. I just feel like you have to give it more time. You can't keep chopping and changing that much. So wouldn't fully be on board, to be honest. Not true. Brian is a troll. Well, okay. Well, I'm not gonna be let's see. Well, Brian, which country are you from? Let's see where Tijani Noslin is from. Sounds like he might be Dutch. Tijani Noslin is from... Oh, he is Dutch. So he's from the Netherlands, 25 years old. He could have been working at Subway. He was 20 years old back then. Yeah, he's right. He's not a troll. Brian's right. I do see some stuff here about Tijani Noslin making sandwiches at Subway. Only a few years ago, he was still making sandwiches at Subway and nowhere near being a professional football player. So come on, man. Let's not call Brian a troll. Brian was on point here. Guendouzi. Loftus-Cheek playing much more advanced. You're right. Someone said Milan's playing like a 4-4-2 with Loftus-Cheek playing up front. That's the kind of formation, that's the kind of system that I'm watching right now too. Oh, Theo Hernandez is going to get on that ball easily. Look at the quality of Milan on the left flank or as a left back when Terracciano is marking Isaksen and when Theo Hernandez is marking. Oh my God, Terracciano just loses the ball. What are you doing? What is Terracciano doing? This is the point I was trying to make. What are you doing? Just get rid of it. You're not going to be able to handle Zaccagni. This is the point I was literally walking myself into. Is look at the quality when Terracciano was marking Isaksen, he was completely outdone. And when Theo was marking Isaksen, he's not even close. His pace is so much. And right when I said it, Terracciano concedes a free kick because he couldn't handle Zaccagni on the left flank. Lazio's left, Milan's right. Zaccagni and Isaksen stepping up for a free kick. Dangerous position. 3.5 minutes to go. Isaksen with a cross. Oh my goodness, that was weirdly dangerous. Mike releases the ball to Theo. No one in support though. No one in support at all, to the point I think Leao is feeling the obligation to help with the defense to the point that he's just sitting all the way back there. Theo gets released on the left flank, but no one in support. Terracciano to Musa. Musa back to Fikayo. 3 minutes to go. Pavlovic. Milan's looking to go for significant attack. Pavlovic almost playing as a left winger right now. Theo goes to Fofana. Fikayo to Fofana. Fofana to Musa. Musa, lovely work. Drop of the shoulder. Guendouzi gets a yellow card, but that was crisp from Yunus. And boom, get out of here. Yeah, he needed to foul him. 2.5 minutes. I might not read your comments because sometimes if they score, then you guys let me know beforehand. Fonseca. Not Fonseca, Fofana. To Terracciano, Pulisic. Pulisic back to Terracciano. Goes to Pavlovic. Pavlovic to Theo. Rafa, look lively. Give him some support. You're so deep. I guess you've been asked to. There's no way he would sit that deep. Much closer to the goal. Just makes me laugh. Rafa gets dropped for the first time probably ever. And I mean, I'm sure Pioli did drop him once or twice. I remember once it happening. But gets dropped and comes on and scores a goal. The one thing he's terrible at doing, he just comes on and scores a goal. That's almost, that's... Sometimes you just have to follow the omens. So maybe that is the omen, that don't drop him. The guy will improve. Just give him the resources and the right coaching to improve. Rafa, Pulisic, Christian, Christian to Tammy Abraham. Tammy. Oh, Tammy. That sounds weird. Oh, he could have scored there. Oh, he was onside too. He was just onside. Tammy, that was a goal. Just had a little bit more in it. He knows it too. Pulisic with the corner kick. Provedel with the punch out. Musa. Oh my goodness, Musa. Looks like another 2-2, guys. Oh. All right. There it is. 2-2. Let's give it 10 minutes of discussion. You guys drop into the comment section. Please say everything that is on your chest. Get it out. I'll chat for about 10 minutes. After that, I will have to go. My friends have been waiting for me for 3 hours now, really. I've been working on this. I'll give a little bit of my own spiel here. Whatever comes to my heart. It's yet another 2-2. I think the biggest problem for this team is that in 3 games we've conceded 6 goals. I've talked about it throughout the entirety of the stream, so some things are going to be a repeat, but they honestly have to be a repeat because we're making the same mistakes on repeat too. 2-2 scoreline. You're starting off a rough start. I think Fonseca just about saved himself some serious blushes. If Milan had lost today, going up 1-0 and 2-1 to Lazio, I think there would have been a lot of calls for dropping him, sacking him. And not calls that are serious necessarily, but calls that would be more of the agitated fans. The fact that Milan salvaged a draw and the goal came through a really nice goal involving Tammy, involving Rafa, and they were able to equalize, I think it saves him his job. I don't think his job is on the line right now whatsoever. Even if Milan would have lost today, I don't think his job would have technically been on line with the management. But with the fans, that voice would have been a lot louder if today would have been 0 points. I think he made some mistakes. When you're up 1-0 and you're in control of the game and you made that point that you wanted to make with Leao and Theo, I think you bring him on at halftime. I think he missed the trick then, and we talked about it. And I talked about it during halftime, that at this point in time, he should bring on Rafa and Theo because you've made your point by dropping them. He didn't, and he paid for it pretty heavily. Those 2 goals were not necessarily going to be saved or rescued by the presence of Leao, but it just exposes the fact that Milan continues to have the same problems in the back line. And as I said, we've conceded 2 goals in every single game. I don't even know. This is a weird thing to say. I don't even know if that was as bad under Pioli, where we were conceding 2 goals in consecutive matches, 3 matches in a row. I obviously don't know the stats for that, and I'm sure we're going to find out the stats for that. But has there been 3 matches in a row where Milan conceded 2 goals in a row under Stefano Pioli? I'm not saying it wasn't, but I don't remember. But 3 games in, 2 goals in each match. But the most frustrating part, as already talked about, is every single goal has come from the right flank. Guys, every single goal has come from that side. For the managers, you had 2 months to deal with this transfer window. You had good profiles linked to you too. You walk away with Emerson Royal for a pretty hefty sum. And let's be real, the first 2 matches, I have no idea why this management spent 20 million on him almost. I have no idea why the management opted to spend 20. I mean, just think about this management. Just think about Forlani. Think about Cardinale. Less so Monsara and Ibrahimovic because they're more football guys. But the executive guys like Forlani and Cardinale and Scaroni, these are business people. These guys value money. That's literally their job, is managing that. How is it that these guys were convinced to sign Emerson Royal? And we're just 2 games in, so he could turn around. Let's not forget what happened with Bakayoko a few years ago. I mean, he was a nightmare when he came back. But the first time that Bakayoko was in Milan, his first few games are so bad that at one point in time, Milan was considering ending his contract and sending him back to Chelsea. We don't even want the guy on a free loan. You guys just take him back. And then suddenly something clicked, and him and Kessie were they were an excellent duo in the midfield of Milan. So things can change. That's not really the point here. But Bakayoko came off a really good season with Monaco. He was a much better player. I don't understand this Emerson Royal deal right now. How is Forlani convinced to spend 20 million on him? And we're nickel and diming them for Manu Kone and saying, oh, no more than 15 million. No, we can't do more than 15 million. Emerson, here you go. Here's almost 20 for you. I have no idea. But every single goal has come from the right flank. That's a massive problem. Every single match you've conceded 2 goals. That's a massive problem. You've not been able to win a single game in 3 matches this season. My prediction for Milan for this season was the Scudetto. I'm sorry. I'm at this point in time, I would be really happy if we make 4th place. At this point in time, if we just make top 4 and make Champions League next season, I'd be happy. At this point, could change in a few games. And really, that is what we're banking on, is this little, show of strength from Fonseca towards Leao and Theo. Maybe Theo less so, because Theo, as somebody already mentioned, the coach said he's not fully fit. But this little show of strength from the coach saying, hey, no one is above a drop. You don't perform well, you get dropped. Hopefully this wakes up Leao a little bit. And I think it did. I really do think it did. I think at one point in time in that goal, we'd have to watch the highlights. I think Leao might have actually passed that ball in the past to Pulisic. But he didn't. I think there was something in his mind that made him say, get this ball in the back of the net so you can prove people. I think that was there. I don't know if he's going to admit to it in an interview after. But I think this goal was a goal of purpose and a goal to make a point. And that's it. If that's what you unlock in Leao and make him realize that every single game that he plays should be with that point, to make a point and show people how good he is. He was good. He was good today. He tracked back twice. He lost possession. He ran back, tried to get it back. And he did get it back, actually, in that moment. He scored a goal and scored a good quality goal. So maybe Fonseca's strategy worked and it woke up Leao a little bit. But we need that Leao to be scoring. And we need that Theo Hernandez on the pitch, because Terracciano ain't cutting it. Let's be real. And what we did with Kalulu, Lord knows, I'm even more confused as to why we let that guy go. Because the quality of right back we have right now, this isn't helping. There's how many of you guys are here? Almost 400? There's almost 400 of you here. First of all, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm not in the usual studio. I'm in the US right now for a couple of days. I'll be in Philly. We'll be in New York. If I see any of you guys walking down the street in New York, it would be nice to say hi. Since a lot of you guys do watch from New York. Now, what I did want to say was, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get the likes above 200. I'd really appreciate it if you can. It's 167 right now. It'd be nice if it just goes a little bit over 200. Make me feel a little good. But I really do appreciate your support and you guys joining in. I'm going to be jumping into your comments, but because there's freaking 400 of you almost here, I won't be able to go through everyone's. I'm going to give this another 10 minutes just to go through your comments, and then I'm going to have to go because my friends are waiting for me downstairs. Now, let's see what you guys got to say. Why is Leao and Theo dropped? I think we know why. Coach needed to make a point with Theo. We've heard that he had some injury. We had some fitness issues. But hey, when they came on, they changed the game drastically. Mihir is just asking for one win. Can we just do that for him, please? Okay. Aaron says it's over. I think this was during full time, but now I can go through your comments from them. Aaron says he can't defend, he can't attack. Emerson Royal, he's our wing back. That's a good chant for him. And right now, you're right. that is exactly what we've seen from him. He hasn't been able to defend. He hasn't been able to... I mean, I still remember when Kalulu got his initial starts, he was whipping in some solid... I actually miss Florenzi somehow now. I'm not supposed to miss Florenzi. He's old. But I miss him. Because the way he would whip... Like, I don't think Emerson Royal crossed the ball even once today. That was of a decent amount of substance. A zip on it. Right positioning. He's just strolling on the right flank, front to back, not helping out defensively, not helping out attack-wise. I think Loftus-Cheek was better, but we had the same complaint from Loftus-Cheek for the first 2 games, but Emerson Royal has been terrible to watch. Pietro says, I fear our management doesn't mind barely making 4th place. I think the management is okay making 4th place right now. I do agree with you there. I think as long as we make 4th place, they are satisfied. I think they don't believe that they have a team that can consistently help in winning, but I do think that they believe that they're building a team that can start winning. I do think that they believe that they're in the process of creating a team that can win, and while they're not winning, just keep making top 4 so we have the right revenue to be able to keep reinvesting it into the squad. So I agree with you partly, but I agree with you in the present tense, but I don't fully agree with you in the future tense. I think in the future, long run, they do want titles. But I know you guys are going to rip me for that. So, man, all the right backs suck. No creativity from our number 10. I really don't know how RLC still plays in this squad. Get Matteo Liberali. He can't get more bad than Loftus-Cheek. As I said, Shorian. Loftus-Cheek to me was a little bit better today. But not nowhere near what you need. If you're truly going to play a 4-2-3-1, you need a better quality number 10. And that really is, at this point in time, just Pulisic. More games played than points. More goals conceded than scored. Trash, Joel says. I wish I could just pin this in the comments because you're right. First game versus Liverpool. We are so cooked. Let's get to that problem when we get to it. Let's just get through the next 2 weeks of a break. Why does Fofana look nothing special? Andy asks. I don't want to say anything about that. I think whatever I've seen from him, he actually has looked kind of good. He has more strength in this squad than any other player. He was in a one-on-one battle with another player, and there was no way that guy could get the ball off of him because Fofana is very strong. So we'll have to see a little bit more from him. He hasn't been able to have special moments yet, but as a central defensive midfielder, you're not really going to have that many special moments, right? It's just not a role. Like as a center back, you making a tackle, you get the ball, you have to do that last ditch. As a goal scorer, you score a goal, you look special. How many central defensive midfielders like necessarily look special per se in 2 matches? You got to give him a little bit more time, Andy. He spent all preseason trying Pulisic as a 10, but then we play with Loftus-Cheek as a 10. Yeah, I got to agree with you. I don't like how Fonseca abandoned his entire preseason creation in 1 match after Torino. I don't get it. Thomas says, Kush, I'm sad. Thomas, it's 3 games. Relax. Everything's not fine. Everything's actually really bad. But don't be sad because we just got to give it a little bit more time. Because we do have to give it time, guys. A new coach, new system, some of the new players. He's trying to incorporate Terracciano. He's using Emerson Royal. Pavlovic is now starting. Fofana is new. Tammy Abraham is coming in. It's so many changes. You got to give it a little bit more time. Have to give it more time. Scudetto, I think, is very unlikely. 3 games in. That's going to be a miracle, really. Because you're going to have to go on a run. But I wouldn't be sad just yet. But if lack of Scudetto makes you sad, I understand it. Davide says NYC Tifosis here. Well, hopefully I'll run into you, Davide. Thank you for the great content. Luck says we want more watch-alongs, Kush, for sure. That is the plan. Alex says, hey, Kush. I say hi, Alex. Congrats on your new hair, Pep. Yes, I've heard this before. The one person I'm linked to the most is I look like Pep Guardiola, so I'll take it. He's a talented man. I wish I had his brains. Okay, someone's swearing in Hindi in there. I think I caught someone. Archie says, I'm not convinced by a high line with Pavlovic, Terracciano, Royal, and Calabria as defenders. Ooh, those defenders scare me anyways. Terracciano, Royal, and Calabria are nervous. But Pavlovic, I actually don't mind. I think he has the pace and the size. So you can play a high line with Terracciano in there. But Emerson Royal's pace? No. Calabria? No. Terracciano? Not quite. How did Loftus-Cheek play? Candice asks a great question. And it's a question I would ask too. How did Loftus? Let me ask you guys this, because I can't answer this for Sanis, Canis. How did Loftus-Cheek play 90 minutes for 3 matches in a row? What is the coach doing? Watching Loftus-Cheek and saying, yeah, you stay in there, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay in there. Not a clue. Got 3 minutes and about a freaking 100 comments. Alwyn says, I love your videos. I appreciate it, Alwyn. You're very kind. Giuliano says, why they didn't take out Loftus-Cheek? Well, yeah, same question. That's it. Terracciano is a level B player. I don't think he's very good. Vivek says, Kush, which Indian place do you come from? You mean which Indian city, my friend? What's an Indian place? I grew up in Delhi, and I live in Canada. I moved here when I was young. All right, what else is there before we... What do you think about with incorporating Liberali and Jimenez? Archie, honestly, let's just manage the guys that we actually have for now. Forget about incorporating the younger kids. Let's just manage what we have. Let's try and get something out of these guys first before we start incorporating Liberali and Jimenez. Because I don't know. You just toss Liberali into the system. Where is he going to play? We shouldn't even be playing a 4-2-3-1. We have so many midfielders. We should play a 4-3-3. I think at this point in time, the coach really needs to reconsider his formation and the players that he's playing in those formations. This is the message. This is the comment I was scared of. Al-Hafiz Redzwan says, I miss Calabria because Real was so bad. And I have to agree with you. Indie Blue Jay says, more post-match and analysis, please, even if they have a lower quality. Oh, this is a question I asked everybody on the channel. If you guys are okay with me making more videos, but just less editing, because those edits take me hours. And I mean hours. No meals and a lot of hours. So if I do more videos with less quality, would you be okay with it? So I think Indie Blue is referring to that. More post-match analysis, please, even if they have a lower quality. I do plan on interviewing people more. So next week, I'm already going to be putting out a video about, I don't want to say about what, but you guys will see in a few days. Do you reply on Instagram DMs? Here and there. I don't really do Instagram a lot, but I got to start doing the vertical videos this season. There are a lot of plans, but work gets in the way. I'm going to try. But yeah, DMs, of course, I reply back to mostly. Matthew says, I take Abate back over Real. Holy wow. I think we've covered most of your questions. Brian has something to say. Within the last goal and the last big chance from Lazio, you can clearly see Pavlovic not marking the goal scorer. Oh, we already talked about this, Brian. I understand your question, but I'll have to see the goal again. I honestly just I'm going to be a little bit short on time. And first of all, I want to thank you guys. It is 5 o'clock here where I am, and so I am going to have to go at this point in time. There's 340 of you here. I had requested, crack it up to 200 likes, and you guys crossed it way more. I do see some donations. I hope I covered everyone who made a donation, because I can't see. I'm seeing more dollars on the back end than I'm actually seeing. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure whoever donated, I shout them out. I miss people. I definitely miss people. Hold on. Let me look for this. There we go. Okay, now I can see who. So Charles actually said, love watching along with you. Thank you, Charles. I love creating for you. Keep it up. Every game can't be a dogfight to just end up with a draw. That's the thing. And you're right about that. I think we're hoping that this system, this improvement from Milan's playing style comes into play once the team is a little bit more in sync and the players are a little bit fitter. If Theo didn't start today because he wasn't fit enough, then I guess you got to wait for them to get fitter. But you can't be a dogfight every match, as he said, and only to pick up 1 point. We've done it 3 games in a row and only picked up 1 point from 2 of those games. Somebody said, when a new coach comes in, those first wins can really put everybody at ease. This hasn't put anybody at ease. And we're still fighting for every single point, and we're still only being able to extract 1 point. So I agree with you there, Charles, and I appreciate your donation again. That's very kind of you. And then there's my friend Anthony. I haven't seen him in the comments as much, so now here we are. I appreciate the donation, Anthony, as well. The calls for Fonseca to get sacked will only increase because of the first 3 games. Management made a mistake signing Emerson. They will increase. I think it would have been worse, obviously, if Milan had lost. I think they would be a little bit misplaced. And I blame the management for this more. And I'll explain to you why. Milan took too long to sign the players they wanted. They took too long. Fonseca finally has Tammy Abraham after an injured Alvaro Morata and a Jovic and Okafor that are not good starters. I think we're seeing that they're not good starters. They're good as substitutes, impact players, but not good starters. The team's management, I think, hamstrung Fonseca a little bit by giving him his players too late. Pioli last season had the bulk of his new players well before the first game. Well, in the preseason, the US tour, most of the players were there. So if you had those players there then, Pioli had more time to prep with them. I think Fonseca hasn't had as much time to prep with these guys. He just got Fofana in the last match. He just got Tammy in this match. He got Pavlovic in the second match. So I think we have to give him at least 5 to 6 games to judge him truly. And I'm going to give him 5 to 6 games minimum to judge him, but he probably at least needs about 8 to 10, really. But 5 to 6 is when I'll be more comfortable giving my judgment. But you're right, the calls might increase to sack him, but I think they're a little bit misplaced and a little bit premature. But it's not a good start. No one's defending his start. It's indefensible. 3 games, 2 points. As somebody said, more goals scored than conceded. Less points accumulated than games played. This is bad. But we got to give the guy time to create what he's trying to create here. And with that, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been freaking amazing. There's still almost 300 of you guys here. I went a little bit over time. I wanted to, take Charles's comment, take Anthony's comment. Thank you to Garv. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Omar. You guys are amazing for your donations. And all you guys, I can't name all 300 of you. So it's just a little bit easier to name the ones with the donations. But you guys have been amazing today. I didn't want to leave you guys out hanging, just because I'm in the US, I'm traveling. Doesn't mean that you guys shouldn't get the videos that you're supposed to get because you guys support me a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. I hope you guys, drop in the comment section once this video's out too. And I'll be back soon in a few days. There will be a video about Milan's first 3 games. I'm putting something together and you guys will see it very soon. It is a couple weeks without football. Take a breather. Don't stress out about Milan. It's only 3 games in. We should be fine. I hope. And I think that's it. So let me just, I'm seeing so many thank you and bye messages. Bye to everybody. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in a few days. And as always, Forza Milan. Grazie mille. Forza Milan. Grazie mille. Ciao a tutti, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of